Tell me about
Yeah.
King Size. Tell me about the because I listened to a little bit. It reminded me a little bit of the Hives and the like
Oh,
little garage rock going on there. What? Tell
Huh.
me about
yeah.
tell me about the singer of King Size. I haven't heard much about him.
Well, the singer of Kingsize isn't as cool as the drummer of Kingsize, I'll tell you that. But Kingsize is my rock and roll band, which is the reason that any of this started to begin with. Because when I became, I was the drummer, and when I became the singer, it was just insane. And my guitar player and I have been, best friends for 30 years, and love each other to death. And we started playing music together, and something happened, and this chemistry came out of us. I love that you said the Hives. I'll take that.
Okay.
We have so many different types of sounds to us. There's EPs we have where we're pretty melancholy and sparse and sort of atmospheric and sad. And then there's this other stuff when we're doing the rock stuff that is kind of garage rock and punkier. Our new record comes out in probably 3-4 weeks, and it's called El Secundo, and it's a rock record, but it's also kind of like a protest album, speaking to the times we're in, where I don't really hear too many musicians kind of speaking to this moment in history. And we wanted to say, kind of like, in this moment in time, this is what we said. And I'm really proud of it. I think it's a great record. It's a step up for us. I think my voice is so much better on this album than it's ever been. And I attribute that to this book and just the osmosis of interviewing everybody and finding out these little things I could do to better myself in the studio on this one. And I think it shows. I wasn't that great a singer early on. It was a lot of character and personality, and kind of like, I'm just going for it because I don't really give a shit. I'm just gonna like do whatever I can do. But I cringe at some of it, which was nice when I'm interviewing people that feel the same way, and you've got guys with the most beautiful voices in the world, or girls with the most beautiful voices in the world, talking about how they cringe when they hear their stuff now. And so it's nice to kind of be at another place. And I hope the record after this, I'm even better. You just want to keep digging in and finding ways to be better at what you do. But yeah, I love the band. I'm excited about the record, and I'm really happy that I got the chance to interview everybody before we started recording.
All right. What one question I have? Do you have a favorite vocal performance you're really proud of?
That's a good one, Dave.
Thank you. It just came to me.
God, you're good at this.
Yeah.
Um,
Never been asked that question, but let's get
um,
something we can play. Maybe we'll insert it into the podcast. So let's.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
You know, I should have had an answer at the ready and assumed somebody would ask that at some point, and I just didn't. But we have a song called Gold on our on a EP called No Gold. And it's not one of the rock songs, it's a ballad, but it's like kind of a sea shanty kind of a ballad. I don't know where it came from. It just came out of me one night, and got with Carrie, our guitar player, and sat there, and I sung him all the melodies. I sung it, like the words just came, and something happened. I don't know. It was there. And we wrote this tune, and it was one of those things where, like I was saying, we have so many different styles that we can bring to a record, that it's sort of like architecture. When you make an album, it's like you want to find the right home for all the songs to live in. And I think we've gotten better with that over time, whereas in the beginning we were a bit too maybe eclectic, for a band that's not Queen. And it just was like, you know what, we got to get better at the actual making of albums, and really focus in on what the sound is. And so for No Gold, it was really, we held on to that song forever, this tune, and just waited until we had enough kind of melancholy songs to put together, and we made this double EP. And so one's called No Gold and the other one's called Silver Statues. And this one song, it just had sort of a magic because I wasn't really thinking, and it just all kind of came out and was spur of the moment. And the interesting thing about it is years later, after we'd already recorded this song, we hadn't released it yet. It'd just been sitting there waiting for the right record to put it on. And I was talking to some woman who's a psychic, and she was talking to me about past lives and all this stuff, which I don't even know if I believe in. But she started talking to me, and she goes, I didn't know her, by the way. This was a total stranger. And she goes, you have a sadness about you. And she goes, you've had a sadness about you your whole life. You've always been kind of sad. Is that true? And I go, yeah. And she goes, well, I think it's because in your past life, you were the captain of a ship and a lot of the crew died under your command. And this song, Gold, is about the captain of a ship whose crew dies under his command. And the song is like a letter of an apology to the wives of the men who died and the children, And so it's just wild. That song came out of me like that, and then years later, this woman said it. So that song's always kind of held a special place in my heart.
That's a great story, especially for not having planned ahead. That is a really good.
I heard that story, although I think, wasn't it Willie Nelson who told you that?
Yeah, exactly. Right after he handed me his bandana.
Right.